Hello and welcome to Altenew's marvelous monthly series Video Hop. Before I begin creating, I am going to show you some of the monthly subscription products and a few cards that I have created to inspire you all. Do like, share and subscribe and hop along, leaving comments on every creator's video to enter the fabulous giveaway from Altenew. In this video today, I will be focusing on two subscriptions and creating a card to inspire you all with that particular product range. So first up is the Dynamic Duo. This is a coordinated stencil set with stamp set, and it also comes with an add-on die set. So the layering guide for the stencil is pretty comprehensive and all you have to do is follow that. I have picked a color cube card for my color palette today, and I'm creating a soft pastel look for the wildflowers. So I begin by creating the leaves, and I am using limeade, bamboo and olive for the three shades of the leaves. Now you will notice that when I was using the stencil, I accidentally, from using the step 1, moved to step 3 instead of step 2, and my leaf clusters look slightly different. However, this didn't really bother me. It hasn't changed the effect too much and still makes for a pretty card. I continue blending in color with the mini blending tools through the stencil, just laying out color. And since I'm using three shades of the green, I don't have to worry too much about going light-handed or heavy-handed. I naturally create a nice gradient with the leaves there. So I layer the flower stencil and I am going for a colorful look. So I have pink, orange, yellow as well as blue, and I'm going to just color each flower. And now this time I am going to use a single ink color, blend in ink light-handedly, and as I go to the edges I just add more intense color. And you'll notice when I shift in the layers and color in the other petals, I just add more layers of the ink to darken them, and that gives me the nice gradient and shading that I need for these flowers. It's nothing complicated, very easy, minimal supplies, and so you can see a single ink color can be used to create such a textured gradient look. So for my colors, I'm using Cotton Candy, Sunkissed, Citrus Burst and Ocean Waves. I go in with Pumpkin Pie and Yellow Ochre to add the flower centers, and that just brings it all together for me for this particular wildflower cluster. As I continue to just blend ink layers, I'd also like to tell you all that you can follow me on Instagram at adi.mahajan. You can also subscribe to my newsletter on my website aditimahajan.com to stay updated on my future classes and all the things that I create. All the card photos and close-ups are going to be on my Instagram, so you can always hop on over and take a closer look at everything that I've created with this amazing monthly release. Once I'm happy with the ink blending, I use the coordinated stamp to add in details like the flower centers and shading to the fern-like orange clusters that I have created. Now, while I am at it, I also stamp the larger two sentiments from the stamp set with obsidian ink, and I cut those so that I can use on my cards when I'm just putting it all together. Again, I am using the same inks that I used on the flowers to add in the details, and I'm just going with them about 2 times to create that depth and shading. So I haven't picked any other colored inks for that. Since this is a new stamp set, also it's important to remember to condition it. So I use the Altenew conditioning eraser to just rub it across my stamp so that when I first stamp that, I will get a crisp, clean image. Now with everything ready, I have a white A2 card base here as well as a smaller black cardstock panel. Now first on my card base, I am just masking the area and going in with the ocean waves to create a nice ink blended border. So that just gives me a nice pastel blue cardstock for my card base, bringing it back from my floral cluster. On the card front with the wildflowers, I am just splattering some black acrylic ink to give the nice black splatter that always helps me tie everything together. And I feel like it just adds a nice element of texture and interest. With that done, I am going to use my tape runner and just adhere the black piece. Now it is not a piece that creates a nice black border on all the four sides. I like it as sort of a shadow to my main card front, so you can see it peaks just at the bottom and at the left, creating a nice level of interest. This offsetting also just adds interest and texture to cards. So I complete this with the sentiment and black gemstones for the final touches. Now here is a look at another card with vibrant colors and more embossed look with a lot more depth and dimension, and I equally love this as well. Now on to the Mini Delight subscription product. So this comes with a stamp set with a coordinated die, and I love that it has this layered floral set with sentiments. I, for my palette, have chosen blues, grays, and greens today, and I'm just going to stamp multiple leaves as well as flowers, use them on various cards, although I'm just showing you one particular card in this video. Now you'll notice, even though I conditioned the stamp, first few impressions are not as crisp, but I still go ahead and use them. I don't really discard anything, but the more you use your stamps, the crisper and clearer the image gets. Now for my leaves, I am mixing it up. So I am creating a few green leaves. I'm creating a few gray leaves with green on their detail layer, as well as just gray leaves. For the flowers, I'm going to be playing with a lot of blues and grays. So again, blue on blue as well as gray on blue tone effect. And I only realized later the blue ink set that I'm using has dried out a little bit, and that was the reason why my florals weren't crisp, because I did go back in with a newer ink set and I achieved a better result for the flowers. So again, a tip here, it's very important for us to make sure our ink pads are juicy and refilled with inks. And so here for my Caribbean sky, Persian blue, and ocean waves, I need to really refill them. This is a much older ink set that I've had in my collection. And but I, like I said, I didn't discard those. It just makes for nice organic flowers, and I did die cut them and still go ahead and use them on my card today. And my intention to keep this in the video is to show you that we all go through this, the blotchy stamping, not liking it, feeling frustrated, but just that it's okay. As and when the stamp gets conditioned, it will work out. If my ink pads are juicy, it will work out for the best, but I don't really have to discard anything. I can still use it. Now to assemble this again on an A2 white card base, I'm just masking a few layers with scrap pieces of cardstock to create some sort of a diagonal, and using the Spring Garden stencil with Silver Lake, which is a light gray ink, I am just going to stencil a part of that pattern at the bottom corner of my card diagonally. So that way I have some texture and interest, which is still muted and light, but will help my bold florals to stand out. I am using the sterling glitter cardstock, just a 1/4 inch strip, to add along that diagonal ink blended border that has been created. So this glitter strip is just going to accentuate it further and gives me a good base to layer my floral clusters. So using double-sided tape, I add the glitter cardstock strip in place, and then it's all about the composition. So I'm playing around with the flowers, deciding if I want to use 3 flowers, 4 flowers, offsetting the leaves. And I didn't realize when the camera went off, so I don't have the complete part of me finalizing my composition, but the idea was to just play around that diagonal line that I've created and have the floral clusters emerge right there, creating a nice offset look for this card. So here you'll see I settled for 3 floral clusters with different color combinations, adding leaves at a variety of places. And I have stamped the sentiment as well as die cut it from the same coordinated die set. Here's a look at some of the other cards I created with this set. One of them is a shaker card and one is a mini note card. So put together, you can see how the same florals can be used in different ways, and I love doing this, creating multiples of the same. I really hope that you've enjoyed this product technique showcase video today, and I look forward to continuing to inspiring you all with my future creations. Do check the description box below for all the hop details. Until the next time, take care and bye bye.